All right, one of the rare times you'll see me doing this show because I'm kind of sports talked out by the time we get to 1 o'clock. But I do have a few notes because it is game one, Nashville. But before I talk to Greg Diolis, happy Memorial Day weekend. Our friend has been on the road, Fort Bragg, All-American Week, Bob Dvorak, Barnes & Noble, selling book after book after book. It's a great read, especially for the rest of the summer if you're heading to a beach anytime soon. Obviously, 4th of July around the bend, Veterans Day still to come, and Memorial Day is Monday. The book is Drive On. Bedouin Bob, the Associated Press award-winning journalist, in his time with the 82nd Airborne during Desert Storm. He'll also be a part of our American Legion broadcast, 580 in Monaca tomorrow, in which he will be joining me, along with Tony Accomando, Friends of Da Nang and Life-Changing Service Dogs, and Congressman Keith Rothfuss. That's from noon until 3 as I'm in for Mike Pintek. But Philip Forsberg, left wing, number 9. Ryan Johansson, center, number 9. Vector Aberson, who is a left winger, he is number 38. And Penka Rene, who is their goaltender, he is number 35. So you can kind of jot those names down if you feel the need, because those are the players that are going to be taking on the Penguins. Game 1 tomorrow night. It'll be Doc Emmerich along with Eddie Olczyk and Pierre Maguire. Game 1 on NBC. They're putting it on the network tomorrow night, prime time in Spotlight. And one thing I know, as I was watching the NFL Network earlier, and of course Mike Mulberry the other day on the post-match game on the MSNBC Network, this is not the same Ottawa defensive-minded team that we saw, meaning the neutral zone, trap, shut them down. They can do that. They've got defensemen who can match up with Crosby and Malcolm, but they can also skate end-to-end, and they can shoot the puck. So the Penguins and Nashville are going to put a lot more pucks on the net, and I think you're going to see a lot more offense. And for the fans, and even for fans who are watching hockey, believe it or not, for the first time in prime time in a Stanley Cup final, they're going to see a lot of fireworks.
I don't know if it can get any better than that Game 7. That may have been the greatest hockey game in the history of the city of Pittsburgh as far as games being played in the city of Pittsburgh. But this will be exciting hockey. This will be more end-to-end, more offense. Whether there'll be more scoring, you got a pretty good goaltender here that we're going up against. And, of course, Murray playing on the Penguins' end. There may not be more goals or more pucks going into the net, but there will be more rubber flying at the net from both sides.
You know, this team has only been around since 1998. I was kind of doing a timeline thing. You know, it's about that time, usually 20 years in, 15 years in, if they're going to be anything, they make a run at the Stanley Cup. And some are fortunate enough, as the Penguins, who were in the league from 67, and then in 91 and 92, they started to win the Stanley Cups. So this is about the time that Nashville, if they're going to do it, they need to do it. But the Penguins to be there back-to-back, that's almost impossible to do. I mean, we did it with Lemieux, and Crosby is now on the verge of maybe winning another Stanley Cup, just a season removed. It's been a great run for Pittsburgh Penguin fans now in the 50th year of this franchise.
It has been an awfully good run, and you know, just to add to the legacy of the championships in Pittsburgh, it's been great to have the Penguins get to that point and really stay at that point. They've been relevant since that 1990-91 run. Whether they've won Stanley Cups, they've been pretty good all the way through. One of the things that's interesting about this series, Rob, is there's a good already reason to hate these Nashville Predators, and that's those ugly West Virginia Mountaineer-looking color scheme that they have. So we can hate them immediately for that. And then all those whiny country singers that are attending.
Wait, no.
So
I like these country singers.
Bums for two reasons.
Vince Gill, Amy Grant, they're at every game. You've had Keith Urban, you were saying on the Black and Gold show, sing the national anthem. I love it. I think it's going to be great for the game of the NHL to see some of these country stars.
Underwear's married to their team captain.
Carrie Underwood.
Oh, is that okay? I guess.
You know what? I was so close. Hey, listen, before you do go, there's a couple of other things, and that is the Pirates. I said this earlier. They're 23-27. Last I checked, 3.5 out. McCutcheon double single yesterday. John Jaso gets the walk-off. They're in primetime tonight. ESPN and Tyler Glasnow will get to start. All is not lost for we who love the Pirates. A lot of baseball left, and you know what? Things are starting to look up for this team.
They are starting to look up, and Kutch is starting to heat up, which is the time when he generally does. He's lousy in April. He's lousy in May. We're almost to June. He's starting to get ready to go. Moving him into the 6-hole in the lineup may be something good. Takes a little bit of the pressure off of him, lets him go up there and just take the approach of, I'm going to go in here and rip now, and he's been doing that over the last few games.
Also, you've got Webb Simpson leading by 1. It's the Dean and DeLuca Invitational, the Memorial next week. Jack Nicklaus is his tournament. Talk about the Golden Bear. We were talking about he and Arnie Palmer because we re-aired a broadcast that was originally heard with Mike Dudurich on the golf show yesterday. Doc Geffen, longtime assistant with Arnold Palmer. So we were thinking a little golf. And when you think Arnold, you think Jack.
I do, and my first set of golf clubs had a golden bear on them. It was the Jack Nicklaus. It was a wooden driver. I'm that old. I go back to those days.
Jack's probably still getting paid for that.
He probably is. So I've always been a fan. My nickname when I was younger was the Bear. So I've always been a fan of Jack Nicklaus and those good things. But one of the things that's been interesting in this weekend's coverage of the golf event was Tony Romo's debut as a CBS announcer. He's covering the 18th hole at the Dean and DeLuca event.
He's a pretty good golfer, too.
Yes.
Indy 500 underway right now, and of course later the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600. A big sports weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great rest of the day. And don't forget, Game 1 tomorrow night, NBC. And of course, we'll be talking about it all day. News Radio 1020, KDK 93.7 The Fan, right up until they drop the puck. Doc Emmerich, Eddie Olczyk. Remember how they loved him when he played and he was a coach? Now, everybody, don't bash Eddie Olczyk, okay, folks? And also, Pierre Maguire does such a great job. Have a wonderful Sunday. Salute those who made the ultimate sacrifice. And we will check back tomorrow morning right before that noon hour with you. And then, of course, we'll get going at noon until 3 at the American Legion Post 580, paying tribute to Memorial Day right here as I'm in for Mike Pintek on News Radio 1020 KDK. Good afternoon.